Yeah, good morning. What's up, Chance? Yo, what's up, Wizzy? Are you trading the AM before FOMC? Yeah, I am going to trade the AM before FOMC, Chance. As long as it gives me a high probability setup, I'll still trade the AM. I haven't avoided the AM of FOMC for a few months, and usually I'm able to at least find one good setup. So I'll be looking to do the same today. Nothing on Discord? Okay. Do I have audio now on Discord? Yeah, all right, thank you. My week so far, I'm down 2R overall. But I had a question about yesterday. I think you have seen it. The 5-minute breaker that formed yesterday at 9:35, is that one still valid in the PM session and the next day during Asia? Yeah. Should be. Let me see what you're talking about. You're talking about this? Okay, so this 5-minute breaker by itself is not valid for my model. But the 15, which is literally the exact same area, right? Literally the same breaker, same high, same everything, is per the model. Because this is a 4-hour sweep inside of a 4-hour busy that is already valid per the model. And so when we get this 15-minute breaker, this is expected to deliver to, at the very least, 2 standard deviations, if not 4 standard deviations. And that's what we did this morning. I mean, well, that's what we did on the open. We were traced back into it. All right. And then we opened, took off, and we hit 2 standard deviations. Now, looking at the way this printed, do we have an IFVG? No. Do we have a busy? Yes. Outside candle? Yes. Close on the first time? Yes. So this is likely to go to 4 standard deviations because of that, which is up here. So that would be my bias. That's what I'm looking for more likely than not today. Delete this one. Go over here. That's more likely than not what I'm looking for. So because it's a 4-hour, you use the time frame alignment of the 50-minute time frame. Yeah, I just dropped a video literally today, Chance, this morning. So go and watch that when you get a chance. But I explain how I use the 4-hour time frame and the 1-hour time frame in relation to the model. So basically, I explained the rules on how the 1-hour sweepables operate and how the 4-hour sweepables operate. That way you can figure out the pairs, because each time frame will have a pair that makes it high probability. So for example, like 1 hour with 1 minute, it's not high probability, but 1 hour with 50-minute breaker, it's high probability. 4 hour with a 1-hour breaker is high probability, unless they have fair value gaps that are valid. Then in that case, you can go down one time frame. So the 1 hour and then the 5 minute compare if it's a 1 hour BC or CB that is valid per model, but it has to be specifically valid per model. If it's not, then you don't want to pair that. You want to, you know, leave it on its own. All right, let me delete some of the stuff that we don't need from yesterday because my screen is definitely clogged up with tons of crap. Oops, I meant to delete the session. I need to pull up GC on my other screen. I think GC is moving today a lot. Man, there was an overnight on not overnight. I mean, it wasn't even overnight. It was actually like Asia Open play. It was so good, but I was just a little too late to get on it. Let me see. Make sure nothing is going on there. We have breaker. Sweepable. Okay, there might be. Yeah, there might be a play getting ready to happen on GC, so I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Hold on. Swap. Breaker. Deliver. Now we're back up. Let me zoom out. Doing this leg? No, that's not. Oh, that's tough. One. Oh, that's tough. There's actually a short already on the line, but we just had a 5 minute CISD. Yeah, good morning, Casper. All right, let me analyze GC first because I think GC will have a play sooner than NQ, unless I'm tripping. Let me do a quick NQ analysis. Hold on. Let's see. So CISD, sweepable there. The 5, right? Yeah. So swapped again here. Swept again here. Bullet, yes. Bullet 1. Bullet 2, yeah. And then this would be bullet 3 at that point. So yeah. All right, let me hop on GC then. Okay, so GC. This is the play that I unfortunately missed yesterday right here. All right. So, oops. All right, so 5 minute, then 5 minute gets swept again, then it gets swept again, and now we're here. Go down to the 1. No bullet here. Bullet 1. Bullet 2. Yeah, bullet 2. Bullet 2 never delivered. Now we're dropping again from here. That's tough, but it's valid. CISD was here. Sweepable was here. That's bullet 1, and it did deliver. So once we sweep there, it's still a bullet 1. So this is bullet 1. And then this would be bullet 2 if we confirm, which we did right here at 709. All right. Where is my ninja? How big is that? 51. That's not huge. Yeah, that's not huge. What does the 5 minute look like? Yeah, 5 minute breaker too. Yeah. All right. Let's just stop on this. 414. 414. All right. We wouldn't have gotten filled yet anyways on this because it closed on this candle and it hasn't pulled back. So the question is, should I risk it for the biscuit and do a deeper pullback retracement just to get a better risk to reward or not? That's the question. Let's see. How deep can I get it to get a better risk to reward? Probably not, actually. Yeah, there really isn't anything much. Oh, wait a minute. 54, and then it closed on what time? 709. Okay, so macro, where's the open? Open is here. Ew, open of the hours there. Okay. My bad, y'all. I'm talking to myself through this trade. CISD. Okay, so the hourly. Where are we? Tuesday of last week. Yeah, Tuesday last. So that's already too old for me to count it on this side for the 1 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour. CI is this here. High, no low. So high, low, high. I think it is a sweepable on the 4 hour. So I could ride from here to here. Roughly giving me, how much does that give me? $5.75R. CISD here. Nope, there's no high here, so there's no CISD. So earlier CISD is here. Man, the tiny wick on the 1 hour I don't like. That's the only part I don't like. Well, I mean, also the lack of CB. I don't prefer it, but I'll be fine. All right, cool. So we'll leave that on. We'll see whenever that gets filled. And then let's jump on NQ and see what's going on with NQ. So, so I had already determined no on the buy, but we have new information, which is new CISD here. High, low, high, giving us our sweepable there. Our GC just got filled. All right, awesome. So high, low, high, giving us our sweepable here on the 15. That is fresh. Swept here. But it didn't create a CIC till like way up here. Yeah, till up here. High, low, higher, high, lower, low. So till up there, which is thick, right? Oh, it's actually not that thick. It's just that volume has been super dead. So it's not too bad. It's just volume being terrible. Okay. Yeah, and that's bullet 1 as well for the 5-minute. Okay, what about the opposite side? So on the opposite side, we have CISC here, sweepable here. Oops. Sweepable there, and then what do we have for that side? We have sweepable and then bullet 1, which never came to tap back into later on till here. So it's not really tapping back in, to be honest. Was there a CB with that though? Oh, there was. Okay. So this is a candle 1 play here. So what comes out of candle 1 over here? All right, so we got that breaker. And that went to 2 standard deviations. CBS inside candle, no FVG. Close on the first time, so B plus, so you can go to 2 or 4. It went to 2 and now it's back at where it started. It makes sense for this to be taken out right here. So that, I would assume that's what's going to happen. I'd assume we're going to take this high out. So if we take that high out, if we take that out, we're likely going to take that out here, which probably means the buy side is winning again. Let's look at the hourly. So from yesterday's price action, what do we have? No breaker here on the hourly. It happened here, sweepable here, and then we pumped again. New CISC here on this high, cross, like so. High, low, high, sweepable on the 1 hour. And swept again. Okay, so there's a 50-minute breaker, right? Yeah, there is. So it's right here. So this 15-minute breaker is actually well paired up with the hourly, which would take us to high of the week. Right? Yeah, that would take us to high of the week if it delivers. Okay, so I think that's what we'll attach ourselves to for now. Wait, let me see the hourly again. So, okay, so this hourly is a potential. I mean, this high, sorry. So a potential 1 hour breaker. Oh, I never set my TP on GC. Let me do that. 375. Oh, let me not be a dick for a tick on GC because sometimes they've been missing by a hair. So let's do 3.5. 378.4. 378. All right, bet. Oops, I forgot to move this over so you guys could see where I enter. Is that my fill? 3394. 3394. No, 3396. 96.4. Alright, so that's my fill, and my stop is here. PP is right there. Alright. Let's hop back onto the NQ. So potential 1 hour breaker. So I would want to see that to form. If this is actually gonna go up, I would want this to confirm ideally. If that confirms, that would give me a pretty good idea of what FOMC will do. If it confirms, then yeah, it will deliver the high of the week, or at least that's what I would expect for us to deliver the high of the week on NQ. So if that's the case, where can we attach ourselves to? These moves are already going. This is quite a thick breaker relative to volume, but it is valid. I'm not gonna take a retest on that though. For sure, I'm not gonna take a retest on that. So let's see, 5-minute CISC is here. So basically, I can wait for a 5-minute sweepable to print for us to sweep that, and then I can get attached on a long. So let's do that. Waiting on 5M. Sweepable. Sweep. Then 1M. CISD. Going back to GC. The thing I don't like about the trade, the only thing is we already had this CISC here on the 5, giving us this as a sweepable. So now we have a low, high, lower, low. Oh, but this is not a up candle. So never mind. That wouldn't be a 5-minute breaker there. It would be a 5-minute breaker up here. That'll be fine. But yeah, so if it creates a breaker here to the upside, like, it's valid per model because it's a 5-minute sweep. So it definitely could, like, it definitely could take, because this is Asia high here, so we could definitely go take Asia high and then drop again, And I mean, we're overall bullish, right? Like we literally have been going up all week. This is Friday. No, this is Thursday. Yeah, so we've been going up since Thursday last week in a straight line. So either we could be pulling back and then continuing, or this could have been the peak and then we could be reversing. But I wouldn't really know that, to be very honest. I haven't done a lot of back tests on GC in terms of the higher time frame stuff, like the 1 hour, 4 hour, and so on. I'm shorting gold. Yes, I am. So I haven't done a lot of the higher time frame stuff. I'm sure the principles are the same, or at least very similar, but there's always like tiny details, obviously, about a currency pair that like is just a little bit different than usual. Like one pair might work a lot better with the 15-minute time frame than the 5-minute time frame, for example, or it'll work a lot better with the 5-minute rather than the 15-minute, because maybe the moves that it makes on the 15-minute are just very, very big, so they don't really allow you to take those lower time frame entries and so on. Do you compare it to silver? No, I don't. I don't look at SMT at all. But yeah, I usually don't look at SMT. Let me not say at all. But yeah, that's basically what it has going against it, and then this is what it has going for it. The fact that it already had this on the table and this hasn't delivered. So my 4 matches up with the 2 of this, and we're reacting off that again. Like this is a sweepable, this is a bullet 2 of that sweepable here. So if it's gonna go, it's gonna go from here. If it doesn't go from here, it's basically just gonna go up higher, and I just won't have another trade for today. What you see, this is gonna be my like one and only bullet for today, pretty much. For gold specifically. For NQ, we haven't done anything yet, so we'll see what happens on NQ. If the morning becomes too slow, we'll do some FX replay today instead of watching the market dry paint. Also, I don't recommend anybody trade at FOMC day in the morning, to be very honest. I do it. That doesn't mean you should do it. It's just what I do. But yeah, it definitely doesn't mean you should be doing the same for protocol. I will say it's tougher. Again, the volume is lower, so candles are smaller. We do a lot of tight ranges, and then those tight ranges just can deceive you. You might think it's going up, then it goes down. You might think it's a reversal, but it's really just a pullback. Next thing you know, you got chopped up and you were buying and selling in the same area. So just be careful, folks. You wanna stick to edges. And you want to stick to edges in general in trading, but for continuations specifically, sometimes you can do a trade from the middle of the previous range, like you know, continuation play, or even not at a discount, but I mean at a premium. You can sometimes do it at a premium and it's fine, but yeah, not on a day like today. Not on FOMC day. You want to stick to the edges for sure on a day like today. How long have I been trading? I've been trading for a little over 5 years, going into 6. I'm also looking at gold. Like I think what was it, like 2 weeks ago? NQ was pretty crappy for like a week, and I just thought it would be nice to have a second asset that I can trade whenever one of them is just being crappy. And I started looking at GC, so I did some back testing on it, and I liked it. So I added it to the watch list. Did some back testing on it and stuff, and yeah, it was good. Just got to know how to treat it. So it's a one win and done for the day type of asset for me. Because for my back testing, pretty much like the first trade you get is the winner, and it's a 2 bullet as well. So 2 bullets and you're done if you're wrong, and then 1 bullet if you win and you're done. Lots of people look for SMT on silver. Yeah, I mean, if you use SMT, yeah. I just don't use SMT. Not saying somebody shouldn't. I just don't use it myself. It doesn't fit into my strategy. Yo, what's up, Lucian? GC is in drawdown now. It went back to the entry.
$750 right around the corner for the macro window. Let's mark 830 as well. Let's do the same on NQ. 750 here. So this drop, what do we think about it? Let's see. We had this breaker. It already had delivered. Swept candle one to candle one again. Created a fresh breaker, but that breaker never got tapped back into. Yeah, never got tapped back into. And it's in play. Is there a CB? Yeah, there is a CB. This was already bullet 2, I think. CISD here. Sweep. Bullet 1. Hold on. See that high real quick. Yeah, so bullet 1 was here. And so this was already bullet 2 for that play. And it never delivered. Gets swept again. That's bullet 3. Yeah, so this is funky for NQ. Like there's a lot of back and forth. This is already the third bullet on the short, and then it was already on the third bullet as well on the long, from this side. So it's really funky. I would let it shake out first. I would let it do its thing for a little bit till it kind of proves one side like undeniably that's the winning side, and then I would come back to it. I wouldn't really be taking anything out of that right this second. It's just too funky. 3 bullets on the top, 3 bullets on the bottom. What do you take? A 4th bullet on each side? Like that's tough. So I would be flat right now in NQ personally, or at least I'm gonna be flat on NQ for now. It's consolidating, so I have put alerts, and we'll wait to see which level gets taken first. Yeah, good call, Franco.
That's honestly what I would be doing, just waiting for it to break out on both sides. The tough part about streaming sometimes, and I used to have this when I first started streaming, to be honest, was, and this was like when I was streaming for the private Discord, but when I was on, I just felt like I had to do something because I'm on stream, and I felt like people came to watch me take trades. But then I quickly realized, like, that doesn't matter. Like, I need to trade exactly the way I'm going to trade, and not really be thinking about the fact that, you know, people want to see trades play out, because it's a slippery slope to just want trades. Price is probably waiting for FOMC. Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a slippery slope to just want to take trades just because, you know, you're streaming or whatever for entertainment purposes. Like, it's just, I'm not a streamer that makes money from streaming, so I need to trade the exact same way I'm supposed to trade. And yeah, I'm sure people will learn more from that than for me taking trades that are a stretch just because they're watching me stream. Happened the first couple, like, I would say probably the first couple weeks that I was doing it, I definitely felt a little bit off my usual self. And so I had talked to a couple of friends, and they were just like, dude, just do what you always do. Don't worry about the stream. Just trade exactly like you're supposed to, and, you know, don't let the stream affect your performance, because at the end of the day, like, that's what pays. So yeah, I was like, all right, that sounds like amazing advice. I should do that. And so that's what I try to do now. I try to just stick with whatever I need to stick to. Exactly. Thanks for saying that. Yeah, it's tough to entertain people if you're honestly a real trader. You still see gold going lower? Yeah, my trade hasn't been taken out, so that's what I would expect. We can retrace. I don't really care about the retracement. As long as my trade's still on the board, I mean, that's what I'm expecting still. What time frame am I using? No, that depends on what trade I'm taking, but for the most part, 5 minute and 1 minute is my usual pair, and then I do use all the way up to the 4 hour. So from the 1 minute, 5 minute, 50 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. I do go down to the seconds chart as well. It just depends on the setup if I can anticipate a higher time frame move. So basically, like, if everything is perfect for me to anticipate a 1 minute that becomes a 5 minute that becomes a 15 minute, then I'll go down to the seconds chart and utilize it. Yeah, no problem. Okay. All right, breakfast is here. Yo, what's up, Clutch? Hey, what's up, Anthony? All right. It is delivered. Hmm. Okay, so does that mean shorts are winning? Or does that mean we're just filling up the daily gap we had here? This GC trade is probably gonna lose here, I would assume. The chance for it to drop was here. Once it had already pulled back, that was a chance for it to drop. It's way more likely to go up now. Also, this is valid as a long.
Why did Ninja look different? Oh, it's because it's on GC, not on NQ. I don't have an NQ trade on. My bad. Just got taken out on the GC trade. This was second bullet for the short from the left side. And this is the first bullet on the long. We just took out the second bullet from the short. So I would assume this is how it's going to be the one that delivers. Where would that go? That would go here. Where would that be? That would be over Asia, like right above Asia. I'll take it. I'll take the straight. That would be the second bullet for me on GC for today. So if it fails, then I would be done for today. On GC specifically. On NQ, we haven't done anything, so we'll see what happens on NQ. The only news today is FOMC, right? Yeah, only news is FOMC. All right. What's the entry? Why all the way down there? Because that's on the 1 minute. What's this? CIZ. Change that a little bit here. Breaker. High. High, low. Well, high, low, high. Giving us our sweepable for my model. We sweep. And then on the 1 minute, we create another CIZ, which is here. So that's the breaker. Now, the short already had 2 bullets, which was bullet 1. Where was the first one? Here. And that one failed. Then they had this one, and that one failed. So 2 shorts already failed, which makes me believe that the long can possibly win. And yeah, I'm only taking 2 trades. So if I'm taking 2 trades, and I'm wrong on the 2 trades, I'll lose 2R for today on this pair. If I win 1 trade, if I lose 1, win 1, I'll be up at the very least for today 1R, because I'll win minimum 2R, if not more. And then if I just win my first trade, then I'll be up 2 or 4 for today on the pair. So my losing days will be down 2. My winning days will be up 1 or 1, 2, 4, depending on if I lose anything in between.
The dark screen makes it difficult to see entries. Are you talking about here on Ninja? All right, so we're tapped in. As the entry, TP is going to Asia High, is right here, just short of 4 standard deviations. Well, NQ does its thing and it builds up. I'm gonna bring up the FX replay here so we can keep going from wherever it was last time. Delete this volume imbalance. Last time we left off here, we had taken the one loss. And I don't remember what day this was. He didn't save the drawings, I guess. But we had taken the one loss. Oh, it's because it's MQ. Hold up. That should be NQ. Yep. All right. So we had the CISD here. We had the sweepable there, and I think this is Monday. I think we had a sweepable, yeah, here as well. I believe we're just waiting for a sweep. It's already 1600, yeah. All right, so we're going to the next day because there's nothing to do there. We'll hit it on arm. Oh, it's 8:30 on GC, that's why. Okay. Yeah, 8:30. For GC specifically. You know, GC is like, it's a Forex pair. It's not really what's it called? A futures pair. All right, so we'll start off the next day off here. CISD here. Same thing here. Is that a sweep there or not? Sweep is here. Recommend? Question mark? Recommend what, Justin? FX replay? Send you a bigger message. I don't know what bigger message you're talking about. I don't see anything else on the chat. Unless you used a word that was like spammy or something like that, then it blocks automatically. But as long as you didn't, like it should have popped up. Let me see. Yeah, as long as you didn't say anything about crypto, and it shouldn't have blocked you. All right, so anyways, let's keep going. So we have the sweepable here, sweepable there. Do we have anything to the left? Not really. Nothing I would be playing off. Hourly, CISD, sweepable, 50-minute breaker, which was here. So that's in delivery. 2 standard deviations already delivered. So you could start turning around from here. Oh, too many bars. Dang it. I wanted to shore out of that. All right. Okay, so I'm a newbie, started trading back and Jamie AMC. Trend got some money out of it. We'll take his IPOs. Would I recommend somebody to get into trading? I mean, yeah. I mean, I would say, do I have a course or a book to recommend? I have a free course that you can watch, and it will teach you basics from what it is and how to utilize it. I will say, like, you might not understand it at first, so it might take you a little bit to just kind of pick up the language and so on. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend anybody to get into trading, as long as they don't have like a crippling gambling addiction or something, because I think trading can ruin somebody's life if they have an addiction or something like that. It definitely can be dangerous to trade. At least that's how I feel about it. All right, so this is valid. On here, I can still take it, I guess. I can still set the limit order. It's not too far away. This would have been bullet. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. Bullet 1 here, bullet 2 here with this thick one. Are you currently in any trade? Yeah. You can see my screen, can't you? Right here on the top right. Like up here. Should be able to see my trade. Okay. Yeah, just making sure. And the one play right here. All right. Yeah. Just making sure. How do I make this order? Place order. How do I make an order? This is a buy. Okay, here goes. So sell limit, yes. 5% no. And we need to change that amount. How do we change that amount? All right, cool. It just was shy of 4 standard deviations. Which, I mean, this is 7 o'clock. This is 9:30 opening. right here. It can still play out. It can still play out, but gosh, that definitely wouldn't be ideal. CIZ here. High, low, high. Sweepable there. Swept. First breaker is here. Where's 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock opened. Okay, so this doesn't have much context around it. Bro, this volume is horrid back in the day. 32 ticks back and forth. Oh, we're in the trade. Yeah, 32 ticks back and forth is just nasty. Okay, so CIZ here, sweepable there. Just put it there to be aware of it. Oh, 4% deviation still, yeah. I forgot to check NQ. Nothing has happened in NQ still. Nothing has happened in NQ still. This shit's gonna stop. It's gonna get stopped out. I would at the very least move my stop up here this high. This is bullet 1, this would be bullet 2. Here on this long. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move to break even. If it's gonna go from here. It's not gonna take this high. If so, then it's gonna be a stop out anyways. What is that? News? Bro, this chart is crazy. There's no news here or anything. Just a crazy candle at lunch. Look at this. Comparing to everything else, this is the lunch candle. That's crazy. All right, so we're finally out of this trade. I wouldn't take anything on the long side because it already lost twice. He lost here and he lost here. So I would have to be flat. I wouldn't be able to take a short either because there would be no shorts available because it already used the bullet. Did this get swept? Yeah, so that got swept. Bro, what market was this? Why was Anki doing this? This is nasty price action. Oh, and the 1 minute has nasty candles too. Yikes. Is there news on this or something? PMI. How do I make the calendar show me the news over here? Past, future. I don't really know how to make the calendar show the news here on FX Replay. Maybe they are on.
just don't see them. No, they are on already. Yeah, price action was just nasty this day, I guess. All right, but it's already 1400. We finally got a sweep on this. There's no way I'm taking a trade out of this that's going to be this thick relative to this volume, so we're going to go on to go to the next day. Let me make sure I am on New York time too. Oh, I wasn't in New York time. So this was Asia trading in London. No wonder this looks so different than this. And I was like, yo, why is this lunch so terrible? That's funny. All right. Let's lock back in, I guess. So this was New York. Okay, that makes a lot more sense on why the candles look so much bigger at this point. Got it. Okay, so then that would have been... Let me see if that would have given me a different outlook. CISD here, sweepable here, swept here for the first time. Oh yeah. That's much different. Breaker there. 4 standard deviations delivered. Pulls back. Yeah. Completely different out view. All right. Yeah, that GC trade's still going. Thing is just moving sideways. Hopefully this is the last bump down to finally go up. NQ is finally about to take the sweep, so let's lock in for a second on NQ. Is this worth taking? So after the sweep is what I mean. Not right now, obviously there's nothing there. Is there a 15 available? No, there's no 15 till up here, so nothing there. Long in already? Nah, Chance, that's for GC. That's not for NQ. I'm waiting on NQ. That's for this trade on GC. On NQ, I'm flat. I wonder if there's like a... If there's a thing on Ninja that shows the pair like in the background or something. No, there's nothing that shows in the background like what pair it is, besides the top tab. Check. Ninja, what's up? All right, so we got our sweep here. I'm doing good. How are you? High low, higher, high. Potentially the first breaker right here. If I want to short this, I have to close the GC because Tradify doesn't allow me to be on a long on GC and a short on NQ. They say that it's hedging even though the pairs are not correlated to each other. So let's see. Do we close the GC so we can get on the NQ? Or do we keep the NQ, or do we keep the GC and just ride it out? He failed to create here, so I guess I don't have to make that decision yet. $47, $49. It's out of macro. Breaker is out of macro. I cannot take this even if I wanted to. 845, 849 create it. So it needs to be inside of the macro. I can't take that. So we're gonna have to stick with the GC and just let it ride. Hey, 50 macros here finally. It's gonna go till 910. If we close below London low, is that a new 1 hour breaker? Let me see. Where is London low? Is this London low? Yeah, it is. High, low. We don't have to close below London low, Ninja. London low is actually not a breaker. Because from this high, there was nothing taken here. So the high of 12 o'clock is the high of this. So we just have to close below here before below 6 o'clock on the 1 hour. As long as we close below 6 o'clock on the 1 hour, then that would be a 1 hour breaker. All right, so this got taken out. Nice. It was out of macro, so I couldn't have taken it anyways. Now we do have a new potential breaker, which is here. And that one would be inside of macro because the macro window already started. I see by GC you mean GBP. No. No, GC is gold. It's just that I trade futures. I don't trade Forex. So GC is the gold pair on futures. So the gold contract. I don't know what it would be on honestly, I don't know. I don't even know what it would be on Forex. I don't even know if my stop loss would be the same on Forex. What is it? XAU USD? Is that what it is on Forex? Yeah, XAU USD. It looks similar. Where would that take us to? Does that take us to the same high? Yeah, it looks similar. So this is my trade here for gold. That's my entry, that's my stop loss. If somebody was doing the Forex pair. But I'm not doing it on Forex again. I'm doing it on futures. What's the difference between futures and CFD? Futures is more regulated, I feel like. Plus, it's better for U.S. traders to trade futures rather than to trade Forex. We don't really have good options on brokers here that give you good leverage, and the brokers that we can use are all going to be offshore, which is not good because then they have like literally no rules in regards of how they can handle our money, and they can just go away and there's no basically there's no penalty for them. They don't have to give you your money back or anything like that. But if you have your money with a regular broker here, at the very least they have to give you back a certain amount of money if they do go bankrupt, because they're a financial institution, so there's some regulations around that. So that's the main benefit. But then also, like, Forex just has more, everybody in Forex has a different fee. So like chart feed. So like everybody on NQ can see that this high is actually this high and this low is actually this low, exactly to the very specific point or tick or pip, depending if you're coming from Forex. But in Forex, that's not the case. If you're using like Oanda, which is a broker, and then somebody else is using Forex.com, which is a different broker, then you might see that we went higher than or lower than a specific point on the chart, and we haven't. And so now we have conflicting information because your broker says we did, my broker says we haven't. So which one do you trust? How do you take your trade? With futures, everybody says the same thing. So if we took a high, we took the high. There's no doubt about it. So we can all have, we can all come to the same conclusion as long as we have the same information, basically. Also means that your trade won't get slipped. So CFD brokers can basically open up their spreads. So you have a bid and the ask. So let's say this is where people are wanting to ask. Let's say you're buying. People are wanting to ask for you to pay here. But people are bidding here, meaning that's their offer to get filled on their order. On Forex, this can literally be this wide or this thin or this wide again. They can open it and close this up like really huge or really small depending on what they want. And your broker can just literally open up your spread, take you out of your trade, and then the trade goes in your favor because they B-book you, meaning for every trade you take, they trade a position against you. Most brokers do, at least. Unless you're like a really, really top-tier trader, then they're going to A-book you, meaning they're going to send your orders directly to the exchange, and they're not going to go against your orders because they know they're going to lose money. So they just want to get commission from the fees that you trade, and that's it. But with futures, the brokers automatically make money from the actual trades that you're taking. So B booking and A booking is not really a thing. I mean, I don't know if brokers do B book you or not at all, but they mainly make money from the fees. So they don't really, I mean, at least they don't have to B book you. Also, this is valid. This is valid shorter on NQ. I'm just thinking if I should take it or not. I'm thinking about it because again, I have a long right now on GC. So the prop Tradeify specifically doesn't allow me to take both trades. I want to take that short on NQ. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, let's do it. Three, 450, 9, 3, 450. Oh, don't tell me it's gonna leave without me. Come back. Come back, NQ. He gave me a shot, but I was thinking for too long whether I should do it or not. And I made the decision last second, and yeah. I hope I didn't fumble that. $9.40. This is an A setup. FVG, CB, outside candle. They didn't close on the first time, so that's the only downside to it. But it's an A setup. So 5-minute CB potentially coming through here. 2 more minutes to confirm this. We'll see if that happens. My order will still be at the breaker. I'm not gonna make my order up here. Where would that take us to? That would take us to the opening from today. Yeah, that short makes a lot of sense. And to be honest, we're probably going to come down here as well. Bro, don't tell me I fumbled that. I'm going to be pissed if I fumble that. All right, while I wait for that to hopefully get filled, jump back into the FX replay real quick. So we were here coming from the day before. We had delivered this. Then we had a CISC here, low, high, low. That's our sweepable. Did we deliver this? Oh wait, this is still midnight. We gotta go all the way to 7 o'clock. Okay. Okay, we're at 7 o'clock. So, swap breaker to 2.5. We're starting to pull back from there. What else do we have on the chart? So we have CISC here. Sweepable there. Swept that second time here. News at 10. What's that? EMI. So first time there was no breaker. So this is still bullet 1. Breaker here on this bullet 1. Mark that. So potentially B2. Man, if this is the NQ trade, I'm gonna be pissed that I missed that. I'm not gonna lie. If that happens, I'll probably end the stream and I'll just get off for today. Because I'll just be too... I honestly would be too annoyed and upset about it. And I know I wouldn't have a straight mind after that. So yeah, this is bullet 1. It is valid. It's a dookie breaker, but it is valid. I'm not gonna take that down. I'm gonna wait for bullet 2 on this one. Yep, good call. I didn't take that. Another 1 minute. Analyze everything else. So bullet 1 can come out of here and it will be fine. I mean, a bullet 2 if it closes below there. 720. Yeah, if it closes below here, I can take a short. Okay. So we did. We set that up there. Close first time, yes. CB, yes. FVG, no. Outside candle, yes. Let's go for 4. Is it a limit order? Limit, yes. All right, cool. All right, TP. So that puts us where? Let's see, account balance. So we're taking 3 trades, the break even, the loss, and then the win that we just took. That puts us back up at 50K, 667. Let's put that here on the bottom so I can remember the available drawdown. $667 profit. Available drawdown. It was 2,500 plus the 667, giving us 3,167 bucks. Available DD. All right. So next trade we can use 300 bucks pretty much. Okay. Valid CB. UCISD. All we got to do is wait for the 5 minute to give us another entry. Tapping into candle 1, but that would be a crazy entry. 15 minute. Oh man, NQ left. It already hit 2. It's supposed to hit 4, so I wouldn't be moved to break even yet. I would be moved to break even at 3 standard deviations. How about entering the 5 minute breaker? I don't enter the 5 minute breakers, new rider, because they like here, for example, yeah, like you could enter that, but your risk to reward is just not as good. And I know this was the entry for me, so this is a 4-hour entry versus a 1 hour if I take the 5 minute breaker, for example. All right, I'm gonna set an alarm on here, and I'm gonna set an alarm on the actual fill, and hopefully the fill alarm goes off first before the other one, because not only did I close that, not only did I miss the NQ, I closed the GC. So yeah, that would honestly just piss me off for today. And trading while being upset is definitely 100% not the thing to do. I would literally lock myself out of the day. Like, I wouldn't even look at the PM session or take a walk, because I already know, like, if I missed a really good trade that was super easy, super like obvious to me after I faded a bad one, because not only did I miss this, I faded a bad entry, which was the one prior on NQ, right? It was this one right here. So like, I avoided a loss, I had an easy win, it would have been a great day. So that would really set me off, and I already know that would not be good for me. So I would just clock myself out and lock it for the rest of the day. All right, so and this is still valid, I guess. It's technically valid as long as there's a breaker to the downside. Is there a breaker here though? No, there's not. The earliest breaker would be all the way down here, so there's no trade here. All right, so we just keep going. This is a CISD here. This is a sweepable here to the upside though. So we'll see what happens first. Too fast. Oh, I guess it's not too fast. That equals, yeah, those are equal highs. So there's no trade here anyways, till down here. Ooh, that 930 is crazy. Okay, so this is bullet number 1 for the open. Yeah, right there. Bullet number 1 for the open. News coming up on here though. It's worth the risk. It's worth the risk because this is clearly holding. This is still candle 1. It is worth the risk. Yeah, we'll go for it. 48 ticks. It's not too big. No FVG. Outside candle, yes. Closing the first time now. This is a 2 standard deviations at most. How much did I say I can take? 310 bucks. Yeah, 310 bucks. Save that order. What happened? Did it place it? Hello? He didn't place it, right? Okay. That was weird. All right. We get filled, tagged and bagged. We get another dub. Profit 1, 2. 98.1. Giving us now how much to work with? 1, 2, and 8.1 plus 2,500, $3,798.01. All right, cool. Moving on to the next one. This already did what it needed to do. It already reached 2 standard deviations. So I would imagine this is now going to get taken out, this 2, unless this actually delivers to 4, which I guess it could. It is creating this CB here, so I guess it can. I wouldn't want to be in that trade though, so we'll see what happens. Did the CB confirm all the way? Yeah, the CB did confirm. All right, we'll keep it in mind. We'll see what happens. So candle number 1 is out of here. CB is there. Tapped into candle 1. News coming up at 10. What time is it already? I'm not getting into a trade regardless. Yeah, all right. And it took out the high. It took out both highs. Yeah, it took out both highs. All right, awesome. So we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of that. 10 o'clock. Yeah. All right. So bullet two delivered, and then bullet 2 made a second play. That play got taken out. This is still technically bullet 2. As long as he has a CIC here, which he did. It's super thick and it's out of news, so I would ignore. At least temporarily. 5 minute. Let's look for a 5 minute sweepable. Okay, we got our 5 minute sweepable here. Let's go back to the 1 minute. See if Tuesday, Wednesday. Wait, is that the same week? 5, 6. Yeah, it is. So still the same thing though. All right, so it doesn't matter. And this delivered to 4, 4.5 from the top breaker we had here. So it's something to keep in mind. We could turn around from there. Let's see what NQ is doing. NQ reached 2 standard deviations, is pulling back now. All right, it's fine. There's literally no play here for me. This is the only sweepable. Yeah, there's literally no play there for me. So I would literally have to just be flat. Okay, finally, nope, still no play. CIC here, high, low, high. This is the one and only sweepable so far. But obviously we've been dropping, so this is one of the sweepables that if I do take it, it would just be tough. Bottom, save, 5. Yeah, I wouldn't take this long, to be honest. Unless he perfectly lined up with a sweepable on the top, but there's no breaker here either.
because this is not a low, high, low here. So there's no 5-minute play for shorts. You would have to get up here. Yeah, there's no sweep here either. It's about to be 1600 already on there, so nothing to do. Yeah, too close to the close. All right, so moving on to the next day. All right, we are at 7 o'clock. What happened on the previous day? Let's see. On the overnight, let's go to 1800. So you see here, low, high, low, giving us the first sweepable there, which got left open, so nothing to do. CISD here, low, high, low, giving us the next sweepable, so still nothing to do. Low, high, lower, low, higher, high, lower, low, giving us a breaker, but then the breaker gets swept. And then a new breaker forms here. First sweepable goes here. Swept. Swept again. Let's zoom in on that. So swept here. Is there a bullet here? Yes, there is. So this is B2. And is there a bullet too? Yes. There is IFVG, CB, outside candle, closing the first time, yes. So this should be going to -4, which is down here. Right there. But we haven't gotten there yet. Why? Why have we not gotten there yet? That was at 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock is coming up. CI is it to the upside, sweepable here. Is there longs in play? Sweepable is there. Bullet 1 on the long. What is that? IFG, yes. No CB. Didn't close on the first time outside candle, so this is a B plus. So the B plus retraces us back to where the short was. That's not bad. Let's go back to the 5. For the second sweep, this is candle 1 play. Here on the CB. Yeah, that's not bad. So let's do this. Let's set a limit order right at -4 of the long. And we'll target -4 of the short, like so. How much can we do use now? 370 bucks, right? 370. Save the order. Is there anything as I'm overlooking? Yeah, there's nothing on the left side that I could even use. All right. $9:30 coming up on the open. So we'll see if 9:30 takes us to the entry and then drop us from there, or if we end up not going. GC ended up losing that trade, so I guess it worked out that I got out of it, but
I'm still not on my NQ, so that still pisses me off. All right, let's put this on 1 minute. Retap back on the CB. That's valid. CISD is here. Sweepable is here. Did we get a breaker? We did. We did. That was too fast. I didn't realize. Wait. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not a breaker. I'll explain why this is not a breaker. Okay. So, a lot of people would see this as a breaker, but it's not. It's not. Reason why it's not is because let's bring back the path tool. Where's the path tool? Path. Okay, so coming from this low, we go higher, right? We make a high, swing high, because this candle is the highest between this candle and this candle. So this is the swing high. We'll make a swing low. We then don't make a high here, so this swing low doesn't count. It's a straight shot up to here, but then there's no swing low. So it actually shoots to here. And then we go down here. From this swing high to this swing low, there's no red candle. Between these two candles, there's no red candle. Therefore, that's not a breaker. The red candle had to be either this or this candle. This red candle is part of the leg up, not part of the leg down here. So for a breaker to be a breaker, it needs to be on this manipulation portion. From here to here. This is just a random red candle. No use on that. So my order can still get filled just fine. Unless we get a breaker here, which we did. This is the actual breaker. Which, that's kind of thick for the volume, right? 80 ticks is kind of thick for the relative volume that we've been seeing on this replay so far. So I would imagine this is quite specific, which I appreciate. Yeah, you wanna make sure you get on the details for the breaker, because, like, honestly, I used to take trades like this right here. Oh yeah, no, I definitely have, Franco. I used to take trades like this, which I thought were valid, but it's just simply because I didn't know that this wasn't a breaker. I assumed this was a breaker because it looks like a breaker. Like, if you just quick glance at it, it's like, oh yeah, this is the breaker right here. This is the swing low and this is the red candle. But you gotta make sure you're following the structure. If you don't follow the structure, it's gonna, bite you in the butt later on. All right, so this long ended up failing, so we're probably not gonna go up here anymore, or at least I would assume we're probably not. I do want this high to get taken out though, so that would still bring us up here. We'll see. This is bullet 2 for the long here. BCS. It wicked. So that's a -1 point. No IFG. -1 point. And then outside candle, yes. +1 point. So this is a this is a B plus. So it can go to 2.5 or 4. That would still bring us up to where we need to go, which is this 4 standard deviations. CISD here on the 5 minute. So we could either A, be building a sweepable, so we're gonna make a high, or it's gonna go up here and it's gonna fill our order. I would want to take this long, but I could only take it to the 2 standard deviations at most. I could take the long to take the short. It's valid. Oh, what time is it? What time is it on? I said it's 7:30. Yeah, I mean it's valid. It already filled one time though. All right, so let's do limit order. Save. All right, so we got stopped out. That brings up our balance to, hold on, 928. 928. So where we were before, basically. 928. Let's put a pin on this for a second because the market opened. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, NQ might not be nice to me today. At 3 standard deviations, I have to delete my order because at that point I would already be break even. Man, yeah, this one's gonna piss me off. New CISD here. This is a 5-minute sweepable. Here potentially. Well, no, if this candle goes down and it goes up and take it, then it's not a sweepable. So I guess I shouldn't be putting the sweepable thing yet. Let me also delete these lines real quick that we don't need anymore. Okay, so it's not a, well, yeah, if it takes this high, it's not a sweepable. Not yet. All right, so this wouldn't be a sweepable anymore here because this high, okay, so let's look at this. Low, high, but then this candle is a low and a high at the same time, meaning it already went down lower and it's taking a high on the exact same candle. The next candle will determine whether this would be a sweepable or not. If the next candle then opens up and takes this low again, so if it takes this high and then takes the low, then this wouldn't have been a sweepable at all. It will eliminate it. I'll explain in more detail in a second. I know that part is, it's kind of confusing. So we'll see what happens on the next candle, on the next 5-minute candle, and then that will determine whether it would be quote unquote treated as a sweepable or not. I would still have open risk on this, so I would still be, my stop loss would still be at the top because he never went to 3 standard deviations. So he went to 2.5 and then it's pulling back. So yeah, I would still have to be open risk on this trade.
We still haven't made a fair value gap since the open, right? This is 9:30. No CB, no BC. Got nothing yet. All right, so this is potentially going to be the first busy of the day. All right, we're almost there, EQ. Oh no, I filled the MNQ, but not, I mean, I filled the NQ, but not the MNQ. No, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this, NQ, please. I hope the next candle goes higher. All right. Come on, NQ. Just for my mental health, I need that fill. Even if it's an L, I don't care. No. Fill the order, NQ, please. Ah, gosh dang it. We had SMT with YM on the same high. Please, NQ, ignore the SMT. Don't worry about the SMT. Fill the order. Please fill the order. Gosh dang it. Yes. All right. All right. All right. Fill the order. We're just a hair away from filling the order. Come on. Oh. I want this to fill the order, and then I want it to go below the first fair value gap and become an IFVG, and then send us down. Five minutes, yeah, is it to the upside here? So we sorry. Potentially it could start reversing here. Sorry. It potentially could start reversing here overall. This is also a bullet one play here that I'm taking. So if this gets taken out, there could be one more play to the downside, or there could be a play to the upside at that point. So we'll see what happens. I finally get filled, so let me set my stop loss where it's actually supposed to go, and then my TP where it's supposed to go. What is the TP? A2750. A27. 2750-ish. I think that's the TP. All right. Thank you, NQ. Thank you for filling my order. I appreciate it. We love to see that, NQ. We love to see that. Beautiful fail. All right, we're almost at 3 standard deviations. As soon as we hit 3, I'll go ahead and move to break even. So new, sorry, the first fair value gap of the day, it's an IFVG now. So I would assume we're going to tap back in and then just push straight down afterwards. We still haven't reached 3 standard deviations. We're just shy of it right here. Literally just shy of it. So whenever we go below that, I'll move my order to break even, and then it should just go ahead and finish out the target. New week opening gap would fill here. So we'll see if it pushes all the way down there. I'm not going to hold all the way down. I'm just going to get out of 4. I'm not going to be a dick for a tick to try to get another half standard deviation, so another half hour. But it would be nice to just know that he would have pushed down there. Delete this because this has nothing to do with anything. CISD, sweepable, low, high, low. So this is actually a valid entry here. We just did a rebalance on that. We tapped the breaker. This breaker has CBS, IFVG, no. Close on the first time, no. This is a 2 standard deviation breaker, meaning it's going to go to at least right here. That would line up with my -4. So I honestly can actually move this to break even already, because this breaker is actually a valid continuation play that should be going to 2 standard deviations. So my stop loss would be like up here. If it gets up there on this breaker, it would just get stopped out. So go ahead and do that. Only because this is a valid play continuation, right? Oh no, this is 48. Never mind. Moving this side back up. That was out of macro. Moving this side back up. This is not valid. I'm stripping. This low here is at 46. The close was at 49. So it's 1 minute shy of the macro. So I wouldn't be able to play that even if I wanted to. 10 o'clock in 3 minutes. What? My Ninja just notified me about my account's being logged out. No, it's not logged out. It's still running. It's still running. All right, 10 o'clock in 15 seconds. Let's see what this 4-hour candle does. All right, 10 o'clock is here.
This is definitely not what I want to see here, because now it's going to be so high, low, and then it can make a higher high and then a lower low. So what I wanted to see out of the 10 is just straight down, instead of this, no pullback. So I wanted to see red candle, red candle, red candle, no pullbacks. So we wouldn't have a potential breaker setting up, essentially. And now we have a potential breaker to the downside setting up, which means that this high is more likely to get taken. And then obviously that would mean that my short is jeopardized, because we could just swipe the whole thing and then drop. So that would be the second bullet I would have to take on the trade for it to work out. So not ideal. Not ideal for sure. What happened to the 5 minute? Oh, and the 5 minute confirmed. So the 5 minute confirmed here, giving me more of a reason to not like the short. But as usual, we'll just let it play out, let it do its thing. You know, like that, because now it has a high, low, so it's making this sweepable, and then it can make a higher high the next candle to then make this as a sweepable. Not preferred, not preferred. All right, so we're likely to get taken out here. Is this my last play of the day, or do I have one more? No, technically I have one more. Because if this gets stopped out, this would be bullet 1. I could use bullet 2 for the next trade. So I would be willing to take one more shot after that. Well, the thing is, like, we're now getting close to the territory of FOMC. So pretty much, like, once we hit like 11:30, give or take, the chart will literally just go sideways. Well, yeah, like 11:30-ish to 12 o'clock-ish, it will just move sideways almost completely till 2 o'clock. So I really wanted to see this play like deliver now. Like, this was ideal. We went almost here. News came out. I didn't know this was news. I thought we were just dumping to target, but this was actually news. If I would have known that was news at the time that we did, I would have manually closed here at 2.5. Because if this is a news dump, I'm not trying to be part of the reversal on a news. Like, typically speaking, news are manipulations. So if it dumped only because news just hit, as soon as the news is done, the trade is done. The play is done.
An example of that would be yesterday, for example. Here, this was a news pump, right? It did meet 4 standard deviations on this, but as soon as it was done, like the news was done, I mean, it obviously came for and it just kept going. So yeah, that's what I would have done. I would have managed it a little bit different just because of that. I didn't see it was news till way later. I saw some people post it on Discord after the fact. I think that's the last push down before it takes a high. On the 1 hour chart, it looks like SHS. So maybe FOMC will bring it down. What is SHS, Leo? But I'm pretty sure that was the last push down before it goes up. Shoulder, head, shoulders. Oh, gotcha. Or like 20030. 0030. Yeah. I mean, it would only be second bullet if this holds. If it doesn't hold, then there's no second bullet. Because the second bullet, this is the CISD, this is bullet 1. If it gets swept, that would be bullet 2, as long as this doesn't get swept.
So we got stopped out. Wait, why is my trade still running? Yeah, my trade's still running on another account. What the heck? Yeah, what's going on? Okay, never mind. All right, we're good. Yo, that scared the crap out of me. It looked like it was still running, even though we had hit the stop loss already. All right. All right, we got one more bullet for the short, if it's even gonna go short. Yo, where's my 22-minute candle? 10:22. It's not on the chart. Okay, here it is. It's like, what the hell? '21, '22, '23, '24, '25. Okay, yeah. All right. There was no candle there for a second.
So this is the second bullet on the hourly. So 1 hour sweep and then 15-minute breaker, second bullet. I just got to be aware of that if I'm going to take the short. Yeah, this would be the second bullet here, but that's a pretty dookie bullet. No FVG, no CB, wicked, retraced. This is B. At most, it would go here for my TP. It's valid, but it wouldn't really go far down. You might even get to 2 standard deviations before it even confirms. F4725 as the TP. I mean, it's very likely gonna lose. Very, very likely, but it's a bullet too, so just kind of what I gotta do. After this one, I'm done though, regardless of outcome, whether it's a winner or a loss. What a long day before FOMC, huh? That's why I don't recommend trading before FOMC. Like, it's a hit or miss. It has been good recently for me, but it can really be a hit or miss. Like, you might get something like earlier where it was fairly good, but then it turns around like right last second. Or it might have delivered. Like, it was so close to delivering. If I would have known it was news, like, that would have been a TP. So it's not terrible to do it. It's just you got to be aware of the conditions and how the targets are just smaller than usual. They're not going to be your runners, like, you know, 10-hour trades or whatever. They're going to be your small base hits. It's not in macro time. It is. It's the SMR window. So 1030. So 10, well, XX20, XX40. So it would be valid, yeah. But I moved to break even on that. I don't want to get stopped out on this trade. It already reached 1 standard deviation. It's a really dookie one. So if I break even on this and it runs, it is what it is. Like, I'm okay with that. This is one of the trades that it's like such a bad bullet. I honestly shouldn't have taken it to begin with, probably. Because I opened up my account to risk that was like super low probability in my opinion. So all right, let's close Ninja. So for today we lost 2R total, 1 GC, 1 NQ. And that's where we're gonna wrap it up for today. Tomorrow we'll do some more FX replay. I'm not gonna get back for FOMC at all. So you guys want to see trades from the overnight. I'll do the review today shortly after FOMC. I don't know if I'll have time in the nighttime to do it. So I might do the day review before FOMC is done. We'll see what time I get a chance to do it. But yeah, we'll be back again as normal at 7 a.m. and then we'll end at whatever time I'm done for the day. We'll do some more FX replay tomorrow. We'll finish out the trades. Well, let's finish this out real quick, actually, because we had a limit order on. The trade's playing out. Yeah, it can go to 2 standard deviations. Yeah, with this score? I do not. Not yet. But this already reached target, so I would delete the order here. All right, we'll leave the FX replay at that. Yeah, so the 15-minute chance, you have this 15-minute is a breaker to the upside, right? Which it's from an hourly sweepable. This is the second bullet here. So this has a high chance to actually deliver to the upside. On the 5-minute, it's a 15-minute sweepable though. You have one on the downside. Yeah, so on the downside, you have 15-minute breaker here, sweepable here, which is the same thing that makes this the breaker to the upside, right? So that this high is a breaker to the upside and is a sweepable to the downside, depending on which side you're looking at. The reason why this is such a bad trade, I'll just show you real quick. Let me delete this real quick. Conflicting bias. Yeah, it's conflicting bias for sure. But the reason why it's a bad trade is because of this. So looking at the upside, right? If you were trying to looking at the downside, if you're trying to go short, it's a bullet 2 on the 15. It's a bullet 2 on the 5. And then on the 15, it would be a bullet 1. But where is the closest breaker to the downside if it was going to make one? It would be down here. So you got 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th candle now, but it's way, way further away, right? Now look at the 5-minute. Same place, 5-minute. The closest breaker to the downside would be here. High, low, higher, high, lower, low. Meaning the closest breaker is here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles to the top. Anything above 5 is less likely to happen. It doesn't mean that it cannot happen. It's just less likely to happen because it's inefficient. So if we're looking at price action here, the sweepable that happened here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and it happened. Okay, and it was a breaker, but it didn't deliver to 4 standard deviations the way it was supposed to. Now here we're in the same place, 6, and the trade is, you know, wherever it's at. Let's bring this back up. Okay, so it can deliver this -2. It can do that because it doesn't have to get all the way down here to do so. It doesn't have to go all the way down here to do so. But the fact that there is no potential breaker nearby to the downside just makes it very unlikely that this is actually going to be delivering to the downside. Also, there's no potential CB here. But what do we have now? A high, a low. We could go higher now for 2 reasons. If you're long bias, you have a CISD here on the 5-minute as well. High, low makes it so that if we print a high, whether it's higher high or high, lower high, it makes this a sweepable on the 5-minute regardless. But for that to print as a sweepable, this has to push up. And if you're short bias, for you to have a 5-minute breaker that's nearby, this has to push as a higher high. So regardless, the chart is telling you that this high is not super high probability. Now it can hold and the play can be good, but you just have to be aware of the environment because way more often than not, this low will become a higher high and then it will drop after that if it wants to drop, or it will drop to then go up higher from the sweepable point. So regardless, it's just a trade I shouldn't have opened my account to. And honestly, that was just me being silly and being thirsty, because I shouldn't have opened my account to risk that I know, looking at the outside 5-minute time frame, it's less likely to work out. Like, yeah, again, 2 standard deviations is pretty doable. It's very close by, but it doesn't make it high probability. It doesn't mean that I should be involved on a trade that, you know, just because it's nearby doesn't make it a high probability with the trend. You want to go with the stuff that's high probability based on the higher time frame. And based on the higher time frame, the high probability is that we're going to make a higher high. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, no problem. All right, we'll end the stream here for today. We'll be back tomorrow. So far this week, I'm down 2R from Monday. No, 3R from Monday. I made an R back yesterday, and then 2R from today. So we're down 4R for the week. We'll see if we can swing it back starting tomorrow. But yeah, all right, GG's. See you guys.